Okay, this looks bad. I've wanted to talk about this series, but I've had a hard time figuring out how to cover it. That's why I did that last video about comic books and their different trades. A lot of these books are long running, and I couldn't see myself just doing them like I would with books. The main reason I cover a single book is because I want to see how well a book in a series stands on its own and in contrast with the series. Comic book trades, though? That's a completely different beast. Comic book trades are just collections of long-running comic books and are not exactly easy to follow or even choose for a review. Great example. Let's say I wanted to review Daredevil. Okay, which Daredevil? Do I start at the beginning with Stan Lee's run, or tackle the iconic Frank Miller run? How about when Brian Michael Bendis took over, or Mark Waid's new direction, or anyone who's written for a character that has been published for over 50 years? Not to mention the dozens of trades collecting them. So instead of just looking at a single trade, I feel when I tackle a long-running comic, the best way will be to cover an entire run. Or at least what I deem suitable for a review. Basically, I review what I want. It's my show, I do what I want. And what I want right now is to talk about one of my favorite characters featured in one of my favorite runs in modern comics. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into Hawkeye by Matt Fraction and David Aja, a series that shows that it's good to be simple. So, Hawkeye is an interesting character in the Marvel Universe, in that he's always been a supporting character in the Marvel Universe. First introduced as a villain in an Iron Man story, he would go on to become a member on the Avengers, and throughout most of his history, he would only be featured in team books. Whether a member of the Avengers, or leading the West Coast Avengers, or being a teacher for Avengers Academy, Hawkeye was never seen as a hero able to stand on his own. Oh, there have been attempts, mainly through limited series or failed ongoings, but it wasn't until after the success of a little-known film called even then, most people didn't really care about him. Like, seriously, to anyone who just watches the movies, do you even care about Hawkeye? But because Marvel is a global phenomenon now, they gave Hawkeye a new ongoing, which brings us here. Written by Matt Fraction and drawn by David Aja, along with a few others, Hawkeye upon release became a critical darling and an audience favorite, going on to even win an Eisner, the Oscar for comics. So what is it about this series that made so many people pay attention to a character no one outside of comics would care about? Simple. It's because the book is simple. I know how that sounds. Simple? How could a book in the overarching, everything is connected, multi-dimensional Marvel Universe be simple? Aren't most simple stories usually bad? Sometimes, but what Matt Fraction did was make a simple book right. Right off the bat, one of the first things you'll read is this intro Marvel does for all their books, usually to recap and inform readers of the complicated story and character. But in Hawkeye, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, became the greatest sharpshooter known to man. He then joined the Avengers. This is what he does when he's not being an Avenger. That's all you need to know. And he's right. That's all the info you really need, because this story is just focused on Hawkeye when he's not out there saving the world. So what's the main focus of the book? Well, after recovering from his latest Avengers injury, Clint comes back to his apartment to discover his scum landlord Ivan is tripling everyone's rent immediately. No one can afford it, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. Hang on. Let me read this thing. Just for 1 second, stop yelling and, you see bro, is all good in my hood. And all of you bro, getting it next. Can he really do this, Clint? Just decide to triple our rent? It's not fair. He owns the building, Simon. Kinda think he can. Damn it. Upset seeing good, hardworking people get put out on the streets, Clint tries to buy out Ivan. He's not too interested, so negotiations happen. Having Captain America around you all the time, the guy just brings out the absolute best in people. You want to be good when he's around. You really do. Ivan, look around you real quick, because right now, Captain America ain't here. I'm going to pay you everything everyone in the building owes you, and another 12.5 for the building outright. And that's it. Negotiations are over. You wanted to sell it, I want to buy it. I take care of my people, and you get rich. The end. I had buyer. And that sets up the main conflict. No, really. Hawkeye buys an apartment building from a scumlord, only to find doing so pisses off a lot of powerful people over what turns out to be nothing more than a gentrification scheme. Pretty simple, isn't it? In fact, the main villains of the book are nothing more than Russian tracksuit mafia bros. And make no mistake, these dudes are bros. How bro are they? Every other word they say is bro, like the Smurfs say Smurf. He see us, bro? He saw us, bro. Is it on now, bro? Bro, bring it, bro. What you say, bro? Bro, seriously. Seriously, bro. Bro, seriously. No, they never stop saying it. And no, it never gets tiring. Of course, there are other things that happen. There's a story about a tape, a mysterious girl who likes to keep her past a secret, and other marvelous misadventures like robbing from supervillains Robin Hood style. But all the plots go back one way or another to Hawkeye and his recently acquired apartment building. So what makes this simple premise work? Everything. When you look at all the different parts of the comic, from the writing, the art, even the structure of the panels themselves, all are used to help create a book that oozes with character and style. Again, it's a book that does simple well. Look at any of Fraction's writing of the book, and you'll find most of the dialogue is quick and snappy, and sometimes breezy. Fishnet kind of fell out of this one. Aw, Kate, come on. That's my net arrow. You gotta respect the gear there, Hawkeye. Like this here. Boomerang arrow, Kate. It comes back to you in the end. Boomerang! Respect it! Why the hell do you need an arrow that comes back to you after you shoot it, Clint? Because boomerangs. All of which complements the pacing, and my god, the pacing in this book is top notch. The way the panels are arranged is a work of art all unto itself, allowing both the art and writing to shine in brilliant ways. Come on, Katie, come on! Go, go, go! Come on! Bad idea 4. Really? Kate? Really, with the abs and the drive? Yeah. Keep your shirt on. Oh, and for those of you wondering who the girl is, that's also Hawkeye. Okay, so while the book overall is self-contained, one of the things I like about it is it does not shy away from Hawkeye's history. In many ways, it embraces it without letting it bog down the story. Believe me, there are little details here or there about the character I don't even know about, but a lot of the big stuff is covered in simple ways that say a lot, like the many failed relationships of Hawkeye. Or the other Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, who is my spirit animal. Kate Bishop is amazing, a young woman trying to be a voice of reason when Clint starts to get into his weight of the world funks. In fact, she takes over the series for a while when she goes out to LA to find herself, only to get roped into a bigger conspiracy that's straight out of a horror movie. Yeah. Kate is awesome. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah! The art! The artwork, mainly headed by David Aja, is nothing short of masterful. Coming back to the theme of simple, Aja's art is very minimalistic. Not overly detailed, but striking, with strong, crisp lines that makes everyone pop. And don't get me started on the coloring. So much purple, and I love it. So Hawkeye is a series that, when you break it down, is simple. The writing, the art, even how they talk about the character's history. But it does it in all the right ways, producing a book that stands out from your standard Marvel book, filled to the brim with wit and heart. Heck, there's a whole issue from Hawkeye's dog's point of view. There's even an issue that basically tells what the moral of the whole series is through the eyes of a multi-denominational, pantheistic, all-inclusive seasonal fest called the Winter Friends. No, I'm not kidding. And yes, it's still awesome. Books like Hawkeye were the entry point that got me to really pay attention to Marvel Comics at all. Admittedly, there hasn't been a book that matches the sheer level of quality put out in each issue, but this book did make me fall in love with a character who sometimes doesn't get the credit he deserves. A character who tries to prove to the world he can stand on his own, but in the end discover the true power of working as a team, whether it be saving the world or an apartment building. If you ever wanted to find a decent entry point to Marvel, you can't go wrong with Matt Fraction and David Aja's run on Hawkeye. A book that makes simple seem so easy, you have to wonder how they did it. You could collect them in these trades or an omnibus that collects the whole run. Believe me, this book is well worth your time. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about Matt Fractions and David Aja's Hawkeye? Let me know in the comments below, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video, bro. Well, it's about time the bookworm heads back to the written word, but still continuing the theme of heroes, with one of the most immature heroes of all time. Tra-la-la! Like, share, and discuss. Until next time, have a nice day.